Do you want to approach a girl without looking desperate? It is quite simple actually, but there is one thing that you need to know. It's called the inside out approach. And it took me a little while to get into it, but once you do, man, your dating life becomes fun and easy. Before we go into that, my name is Edin, and I used to chasing girls all around. I approached thousands of girls because I wanted actually not to have sex and all of these things because I did that, but I actually wanted to feel good about myself, and I used their validation to feel good about myself. So that's when I realized this. I started doing the real inner work. Now my dating life is fun and easy, and I feel so much better about myself in the process. So I'm helping guys like you, as a dating coach actually, to integrate these parts of yourself that doesn't feel good enough within you so that you can feel good about yourself and your dating life becomes fun and easy. Now let's jump into the video. So why does the inside out approach work? I'm going to talk about that quickly before we go into what it actually is and why it works. Well, the normal way of doing the dating aspect is the outside in approach, which is okay, I'm gonna say something that she will like, for example, a pickup line, or I'm gonna dress in a certain way, or I'm gonna stand in a certain way, or whatever that is, so that she will like me. It's the outside in approach. Sounds cool, right? But there is a big problem, which is that you become reactive. And this reactiveness is looks like you trying to say the right thing. It looks like you, and I'm not bashing you, by the way, I used to do this myself for so many years, but it looks like when you try to make her like you, so you're acting in a certain way. And when you're doing that, you are reactive, you're reacting to her, and this reactiveness is unattractive. Because imagine with me that you are living in a tribe, so we're going to go back to like tribal times now in history, biology. Why is this unattractive? And imagine there's a woman and there's a guy, and this guy, he's reacting. She comes into the room, he's like, oh, she does this, he's like, oh, he's always reacting to her. This reactiveness, why is it coming up? Well, she's pretty, right? But what else could it mean? Well, he's reactive if somebody comes in the room, means likely he is not very safe within himself. Why? Maybe he is afraid. And this fear is not attractive, right? Even in the tribal times you want to survive. Why are you afraid? Do you have enemies? Are you not able to take care of yourself? Well, why should a woman be with you then? She shouldn't, right? So the point is that you don't want to be reactive. Instead, with the inside out approach, you're not being proactive. And this proactiveness is there because now you are not reacting to her, you're doing stuff from yourself. I'm gonna have a sip of water. So good. So this proactiveness is coming, water was amazing. This proactiveness is coming from you. So you are now creating something. For example, this other guy in the village, keep imagining with me. She comes into the room, he's doing his own thing. She's like, hello. He's like, oh, hi, how are you? Like, he's not reacting to her. He's doing his own stuff. Why? Well, probably he feels safe within himself. He doesn't have to react. He might have friends all around, so it's more likely that he can take care of himself and her. So he's a better option for her, right? So in every way possible, you can see that even spiritually, even biologically, you're better off being proactive. And you do that with the inside out approach. As an example, yesterday I was working at a cafe on my laptop. So I'm sitting there and there is this pretty brunette. And I noticed that I want to say hi to her. But the problem was that I don't want to embarrass myself, and I don't want to be judged by others, and I don't want to feel rejected. So I feel stifled, Like every time she walks by, I feel tense, and then I judge myself for acting awkward. And acting is the big thing because I didn't feel like I was being myself. So I go to the toilet and I start talking with my inner child to feel better. And we already talked about this, how to talk with your inner child, in a previous video. But basically what we're doing is I'm having a conversation with this childlike, innocent, and authentic part of myself. I feel like I'm afraid. And he's telling me that most of what he's scared of is me rejecting him. So not the girl rejecting him, not the other people around, but me rejecting him. So I embrace him and I promise him that no matter what happens, we are gonna be fine. I will accept and love you as you are. So, taking a deep breath in, we decide to go and say hi. And I open the door, I go out, I see her, and as I'm about to go, she goes to serve a customer. Man, like I'm hesitating. What do I do now? So I decide this is too awkward. I go sit down. I sit in my place, and as I'm sitting down, my reaction kicks in, which is to self-criticize myself for not doing what I want to do. And you know, right? You're also you're also a high achiever. You want to do a lot of things for yourself. You want to be successful. So of course, man, of course, a little bit of self-criticism, right? But I remember that I promised myself. I said I was not going to be this way. I was gonna be kind with myself no matter what. So I do. I tell myself, it's okay. And I mean it. And in that moment, man, she goes to serve. So I don't know how it has happened, but she's in front of me and she's gonna serve this neighbor table. So I just take the moment. I look up and I say, hi. And she turns around. She expects me to order something, but then she sees my, childlike smile and she's like, ah. And she knows that I'm flirting with her. So she smiles. She says hi back and we hold eye contact for a little while. And man, I feel worthy. I feel proud. And that's it. So there's no PG-13 this time. There's only this innocent action. No, this innocent attraction action. So, did you learn anything? How do you do the inside-out approach? In case you didn't catch it, let's go through it. So, first, acknowledge how you're feeling. And that means that, in my case, I was being anxious, but at the same time, I wanted to say hi to her. So you acknowledge that. The second is to accept how you're feeling. So you be okay with however you are feeling, without trying to be confident or any different than how you are. And the big reason, man, why most guys are being creepy and why most guys are being weird and all of these things around girls is because they are ignoring their feelings. So they might feel anxious, but they're just like, no, I'm not feeling that. And because of that, they're disconnecting from themselves. And when they're disconnecting from themselves, because we're all connected, then he's also disconnecting from her. And she feels like, oh, this guy is like, he doesn't trust himself. He's not in his body. He's just in his mind and he's not present. And she's like, okay, I cannot trust him. She doesn't feel safe. That's creepy, right? And that's why when you start to do this, you will fully allow yourself to be connected. And therefore, you're also more likely to connect with her. Isn't that what you want? The third thing is that you understand. So why are you feeling this way? Maybe, like myself, you feel a little bit scared, and you're most scared actually of rejecting yourself. And this gives clarity because now that you know that you can accept yourself as you are, and you can also give yourself what you need, which was in my case to validate myself, which might be that in your case when you try this at home too, you're no longer needy. So a moment ago you might have needed her validation, but now as you understand that you're actually don't want to feel rejected by yourself, you can give yourself this validation. So you no longer need anything from her. And because you're not needy, she's more likely to be comfortable around you, and then open up. So before we go into the next step, I know this is a little bit of approval seeking, but can you please like the video so that more people can get this message? Thank you, man. So lastly, you embrace what you're feeling. And this means that you no longer give yourself, this means that you give yourself what you need. So this can be, like it was in my case, approval. And because now you're giving yourself what you need, you're no longer needing anything from her. And this removes all the people-pleasing behavior, and now you're able to just be as you are. You're able to be proactive, and that's attractive. Remember, proactive is attractive. Hey, we found some rhymes. And this inside-out approach is part of what we do inside my coaching program. It is a 3-step program where you go from feeling unworthy of dating the girls that you really like to feeling so fulfilled from within that your dating life becomes fun and easy, and it becomes a process of self-discovery. Can you imagine that? Your dating life becoming a path to your spiritual progress. Well, that's what we do inside Raw Authenticity, and if you want to join us, then I'm currently taking in 2 more guys, so just click the link down below and you will see how it works. If you're not ready for that yet, but you want to see me again, then click subscribe, or you can join my free email list. Thank you for watching, man. Peace.